replay analysis number 8. This replay, I'll be looking at this Spectre who actually swats with the puck. And I don't want to really do this as a casting thing, so I'm going to spoil it from the start. Radiant loses this game. I think that Dire was in a very strong position to win the game, and then they sort of throw it, so Radiant should have won this game, but then they don't capitalize how they could have on their advantage. And what I'm going to cover the most in this replay, I think, is what to do as a safe lane carry when you're against a really strong offlaner with a really weak dual laner. With a really weak dual lane against a really strong offlaner, because it's going to be Spectre Spiritbreaker against a Legion Commander, which obviously isn't that good for a Spectre Spiritbreaker. Anyways, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I also want to talk about some mid-game team fights, how you take team fights, how you should think about the game. I'm going to start by, this is actually, I should note before that this is the old version, this 6.82. So the first rune that spawns here is going to be a DD, and that sort of screws up the lane a little bit, but not really. You should try to block. Right now you want to go for the bounty, but you still want to block after that, just because it gets the lane in better position. Yeah, anyways, so item build, I think he should have got 3 sets of regen, unless he's planning to go for bottle. I don't think he gets a bottle, just so he probably should have got 3 sets of regen, just because he's going to be against the Legion. If Legion's really good, he can just basically right click you, and you're going to lose the right click. He is strong. Oh, I am sleepy. Yeah, so there's Spearbreaker here. I honestly think he should have just taken Bash and just tried to bash him. One thing to know about dual lanes is that you don't need to zone him from EXP most of the time. If you're in a dual lane, not this patch, it's too hard to zone. You just need to keep him from getting really high CS, because you don't want him to get really high CS, obviously. Anyways, okay, we're going to start doing this. So, since you're not going to... You basically just have to CS the best you can right now. You have to hope that your Spirit Breaker will pull. Basically, what you want the lane to go is you have to hope you don't have a block pull. Normally, you can run out and scout them, let's say TP or they have boots or some crazy stuff that doesn't usually happen in pubs. So you want to just push the lane out. This is a good spot, but he should try to push out all the way if he can. Just keep aggroing the enemy creeps, hitting them when you can, get whatever CS you can, so that your ally can pull. And what we're going to see here is what happens when you don't push out your lane to pull. So you pose, and then the Legion is able to mess with the pull. Spectre misses some CS on the tower, and because it's like this, the Legion gets the lane back, everything is not good. The lane's all the way back here now, the pull's not up, it makes the game a lot harder for them. Sorry, I forgot this. I also want to talk about pub mentality, because I think I have an AUI's 2 cents on it. It's on my YouTube. I think it's worth a watch, to be honest. But I think this is a good example of how that sort of plays out and how it affects your team. And sorry, I'm a bit out of it right now because my internet sort of had major frame drops, and then I started the first 4 minutes of this video or something, and I had to restart, which really messes me up mentally because I don't know, I don't want to repeat exactly what I say, but anyways, that's sort of irrelevant. Anyways, so now is a good time to pull because the lane's all the way back here, and then we're gonna see if he can keep this pushed out, we're gonna see the SP is able to connect this pull. He should have been able to connect that pull. He gets 2 creeps, good enough, and you can see the difference there, right? Spectre gets to farm at a tower, and Spiritbreaker gets to get some level and stuff. I'm gonna also talk about this here. So because the Spiritbreaker, you have to sort of also be prepared if your ally misses it, because he gets 2 creeps here, he sort of gets lucky. But I think Spectre should have actually just ran around the circle out here, so that this next creep wave meets the lane out here, because right now, once Spiritbreaker has his level 2, they have level 3 dagger almost. They have level 3 dagger now. He needs to start being scared now. So the lane is back here. If Spectre could have kept the lane back here, a charge on this guy would have killed him for sure. And I think they actually still kill him here, but they have to get super lucky. So well, yeah, that's Dota. Triple bash on 3 hits. GG. Yeah. But if the lane was back here, they would have killed him anyways, just because he has Orb of Venom and Legion did not have boots yet. So just checking if I don't have frames dropping. Good stuff. Alright. Anyways. A Spectre, I think you should buy boots when you're a side shop. It's gonna be your item anyways. I think you can go Treads or Phase on Spectre. Actually, I really like Phase, because every time I get Treads I end up sort of wishing I had Phase for some reason, just because Like your illusion's so many bent for either, and I like lasting so much easier with phase and lane control, and like you have to when you're thinking about your boots, the biggest impact your boots are gonna have, like the biggest choice you have, is like basically how your early game is impacted, because every boot will have a strength later and blah 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 blah. But early game, like phase is the best for lane dominance for most heroes. Sometimes it's like arcanes, but if you get phase, usually you have just 24 damage, you're faster, you can go in and out creeps to attack them. But say you're someone like Tiny, you need a tread swapping, or you're mid, so you want treads for tread swapping, stuff like that. So you need to decide that, and it's usually based on your early game. I will say that phase is usually better for damage than treads. It's sort of surprising because I never thought so. But like if you just make a hero with treads and phase fight, like the phase one, its DPS is actually pretty similar. If you make them both hit like a center or something, blah blah blah. I'm really tired. New Year's, probably not the best time to do this. Yeah. So, anyways, you're basically just farming the best you can right now. I don't know what Spectre is thinking of right now. He sort of has 800 gold. He hasn't gotten his boots yet. If it's at this point, you should just use a courier to get it. Because obviously boots make you stronger. Legion's farming decently. He gets treads, alright. Gets treads, that's good. Yes. So, well, as Spectre, you have to look at, like, for these ganks, of course. See, Haunt's in. Haunt's actually really nice for Zombie Slash just because it tanks a few hits. He gets 1 kill for it. I think when you TP in like this as a carry, like this is obviously worth it, right? They killed 3 people. I think they get away here. I don't quite remember from the replay. Is you kill 3 people, and that's definitely worth it. But you have to be careful because when you're up here, like I don't know where, like we're gonna watch where Spectre goes now from this top lane, and after they like try to be crazy and suicide into them. But anyways, watch Spectre. Like where does he go after he comes up here? He basically has to go home and heal because he used all his mana to gank, and then he has to. Oh, he runs back top. We're gonna wait till he starts CSing again. Okay, so he's starting to CS here. Okay, so he starts to CS at like 11 minutes. He haunted top at 9 minutes. Earlier than that, actually. So by going for this gank, he lost 2 minutes of farm, which is a lot, right? Like 2 minutes is gonna be like 12 creeps basically. So that's, I don't know, 500 goldish, 600 goldish, ending. So, like, if he gets 2 last hits, then it's like he breaks even for himself. Obviously, you help your team out, you sort of hamper the enemy team, but you do have to judge it because you don't hamper them as much as you think because he left the empty lane for his Legion, and Legion now has a Midas, and Legion has 60, he's the top of the CS board. So, it's not always that clear cut when to TP. Anyways, that was way too long for what I was trying to say. This is fucking absurd. So, we're going to talk about the Dire team from their position. How should they have played this game? I do not like Midas on Legion. I think that conceptually it doesn't make sense. The hero, you're like, people sort of underestimate just going Link into Midas, I think, on a lot of heroes, because while getting your Midas early is good, like getting a Blink early might give you, say, getting a Midas before Blink will give you, say, 3 uses earlier. So you're going to get 600 gold and a lot of EXP. If you get 1 kill, maybe you get 300 gold and they lose 300 gold. And I think that's almost always a trade you want to take. Like, if you're ahead, you always want to keep their farm down, even if it means keeping your farm down. As long as you can do it, like, you don't gimp yourself completely and you're getting good trade. I'd rather have them have 500 less gold than me have 500 more gold in most scenarios. Just because when you're ahead, you want to elongate your strength, like your sort of time period where you're strong. I don't specifically know how to phase this, but if they get a lot of gold faster, then and you get a lot of gold, like your timing window with your big items is smaller. So if everyone's at like 200 GPM and you have a butterfly, it's basically like 1 million seconds until they have their butterfly, something like that. Techie's haha miss. Techie's shit hero. Anyways, so we're gonna go back to Spectre. He's just doing his best to farm. He hasn't I think he sort of starts flaming, and I'm gonna talk about this. Or he doesn't start flaming, but he starts auto chatting, and you have to be sort of careful when you auto chat. In my pub mentality, I talk about how like one of the reasons that MR for Dota is weird is because it includes everything you do. So if he's saying this is impossible, and in ally chat he's like, don't worry, I'm just making them lose focus, and you know, we can do this, we can win. Like that'd be super like some eternal envy shit, you know? Like that's something he would do. But if he says that, and then he's bringing down his team morale, he's legit just making this game harder for himself. And like I don't know why you would want to make the game harder for yourself. So that's a thing. But anyways, after he says it, actually win team fight. So like when I talk about pub mentality, it's not some like if you say something bad, you automatically lose the game. You know, like you can still go ham, win fight, Spectre, Lawful. So Necrolite gets a triple kill. There's a 5,000 gold swing, 5,000 EXP swing. Look at the graphs; they are pretty.
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
Yeah, that's my team speak. Anyway, so now Spectre almost has Radiance, and this is when like you should be talking to your team, and this goes back to pub mentality. You should be like, oh, I'm about to have Radiance, we're going to win this thing, or something like that. Like, and you can't do it in some like way that makes them hate you either. So you can't be like arrogant or stupid or something like that. But just make your allies aware of how strong you are, I guess. Don't make them too cocky. Don't make them want to like always fight and go in or something. But they should know exactly how strong you are. And he's doing a good thing. They can't really contest Roshan, I think, because this hero healing ward. Well, they kill Roshan full HP. They kill really fast with TA. But he's gonna basically just farm his relic here. Gets a lot of CS. Use courier to buy your items if no one else is using it, just because he missed a couple of CS there for no reason. If you're right beside it, like. If no one else is using it, you don't lose anything. Yeah, I'm not dropping frames. This is amazing. Anyways, so they get a good gank, you know. So I think he taunts him. Where's the taunt? Oh, I remember the taunt. Anyways, he has his Radiance at 1830 when he was in a tough duel lane. So he came back into this game really well, and he's 009. So he's playing. I would say he's playing pretty well right now. He has 92 CS, you know, second on the board. He's a Spectre. That's scary for the enemy team. And he goes for a Manta style next. I think I like his item choice this game, except I don't know about the Skady, to be honest. It's I think Refresher is the best item on Spectre by far. Like you can legit go Radiance, Manta, Refresher, and it'd be really strong. But yeah, that's so one thing we're going to talk about, just because this sort of it's been a common concept for pro teams now. I think enough pro teams know it now, and even pub players know it now, that like I don't mind talking about something like this. But so abusing buyback. Spectre is a hero that can abuse buyback, because if they go on you, you have buyback and you save haunt, you can buy back and just haunt back in the fight. It's not as good now just because you don't get unreliable gold when you haunt back in, so you can't farm after you win the team fight. But if you like break even for your buyback after it, oftentimes it's really useful to just use that. So I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but we're gonna sort of see a team fight later on after he gets his Manta, where that was applicable, but he used his OT too soon, and while they still win the team fight, I think that the execution was not good. Anyways, you know, you kill a TA Reaper Scythe, 90-second down, fucking Necrolite. What the shit is that hero? Yeah, someone in my chat, Mets Ninja, actually said something that's really good. Like the scale it's a really good example of why slowing down your enemy's farm by 500 is better than just getting 500 more farm yourself. So pretend you have 4k net worth and your enemy has 3500. The difference isn't as good 4k to 3500 as it would be if you had 3500 and they have 3000, because the percentile difference is just better. It's like trend swapping basically, right? Same concept. So I think that's a good way to put it. Like that's why you want to keep them low and blah blah blah. No. Alright, so he farms his Manta, I really prefer to get the Asha first, just because it speeds up your farm speed, and I don't know what the LT Orb does. I think if they catch you, like, whatever, you're dead. Just live with it. You're farming with the Radiance, you shouldn't get caught at this point in time anyways. If you're faster, you might honestly, like a Yasha helps you escape more than ulti orb in most cases, unless you're specifically knowing that you need to go into a team fight to tank. The only time you get ulti orb is like if you feel like you can't, like you don't fucking have, like you can't farm the 2k gold. Anyways, so he's keeping away farming. I just want to wait for this next team fight because that's what I really wanted to talk about, and I didn't take a timer now because I'm lazy. Anyways, he's farming the enemy jungle. Good, good, good. He should be using Manta a lot more. I think if he Mantas here, he gets the next wave. Maybe not here, but definitely like down here, he get the next wave. He could farm some of his jungle, stuff like that. So like, Manta Radiance is broken for farming on melee heroes. Just because Manta's a 35-second cooldown on melee heroes, it says 50 here, but for melees it's actually 35, and for range it's 50. And it's 20. So like, pretty much spam it. Radiance works on illusions. You can farm like an extra wave and a jungle camp every single Manta use, which is going to be like at least once per minute because it's more based on position than cooldown. But so like you can farm so fast with Manta, and I'm taking way too long to say things again. Anyways, team fight, team fight, team fight. Nah, 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 nah. That's not the team fight I want to talk about, but we're going to look at it anyways. So if we just look at this game right now, we look at their net worths. They're ahead on TA and Legion, but like there are a couple things that sort of make the game weird. One, holy shit, he has a satanic. One, Spectre makes it very annoying to play this hero. Any blink initiator, just because you press R and they can't blink in. Two, Spectre has sort of a really love-hate relationship against TA because if TA is able to focus her, it's my 15 armor and Spectre doesn't have that high armor. But in general, Spectre destroys TA just because you burn all her refraction off. She's not particularly squishy, and also because how TA plays. TAs usually want to be diving in and like sort of away from their allies. They want their allies to draw attention because there's high DPS and like, well, it's she's tanky, but she's not that tanky to a Spectre, I guess. And when she's isolated like that, you Mata and you just pop her. She just will die instantly. So that's why I actually do like Spectre versus TA overall. So even though the net worths are like this, especially with a Necrolite, and I think Puck's just really hard to deal with once he has the Lincolns. I think he should have got US Lincolns this game because he's invincible and he can do anything he wants. I think this is Radiant favorite as of right now. And that was after like this little teamfight disaster over here. Let's go back to that little teamfight just because... Alright. Because I would like to review teamfights. I think they're important to the game. Diffusal after Manta or after Yasha, I don't like it, to be honest. I think that if you want to fight, then if you want to fight that early, then it's sort of weird because if you want to fight early, Spectre's actually really good. But like after a certain point, Spectre sort of misses her peak. She's really strong right when she gets her Radiance with Haunt. She's really strong when like she has like boots and like level 7 and Haunt and shit. And then like she sort of tapers off for some reason. Anyways, this is a sort of a overextension case. You know, they kill your Necrolite, and you're like, hey, they just used something on Necrolite so we can kill them. But no, he just got fucking... Yeah, congrats on your Midas Dag and Blink. He just got blown up by a Belt Strike, so they actually don't have anything for this TA. No? Oh, that's why, because Spearbreaker cancels his charge. Spearbreaker sort of fucked the Spectre. If he had gone in on that, they would have killed him immediately, and this is like a tilt moment. So Spectre's probably mad at his Spearbreaker. He's like, oh, you fucked up, let's go in. And then they go in, and then they both instantly die, and life is not good. So, you know, that's sort of a pub mentality thing there too. If someone screws up, trust me, they know. I know in Dota, you usually want to tell your allies they screwed up, but you probably don't have to. And this is why he should have got Lincoln's Zeus. Because there's no way a Puck should ever die to something like that. Fucking impossible. If you can't play Puck aggressively, if you can't play Puck cockily, the hero is not good, I guess. That's what I should say. And this hero is fucking, wow. I hate that hero so much. So that was like one of the first throws for them. And then let's go forward. We're going to see, like, you can still take redemption by using that buyback thing that I talked about. So, sort of, there's a BKB down. He has Ghost Scepter. Killing Legion, that's good. He still has Manta. Do you see how much that hurts? Hurts so much. Anyways, his Haunt now. Nope, it's not this team fight. I don't remember where the team fight is. So, like, most people think it's just an overextension or something on that team fight over here. But I think it's more than that. I think it's about like how focused you are, I guess. Because after Spirit Breaker messes up here, you have to know, like, once TA makes it here, like, you're not getting him. Like, just let it go. Don't make a bigger mistake. Make a little mistake, doesn't matter. It's not game losing. If they just backed off there, they lost a Necrolite, well, like, whatever. But instead they lose 3 more heroes because, like, their mentality is off, you know? And it's not like if you put them in a vacuum and you're like, hey, would you chase up here? They're like, no. But you're in the heat of the moment and their mentality is not right for it. Anyways, here's the fight I'm talking about, I think. So they go bottom. Spectre has a TP. He has buyback. I think this is an example. He haunts in here. So watch, we're going to look at this. And it's sort of a weird example, first of all, because it's not perfect, because the buyback works really well anyways. But if he TPs in here, we're going to just count the seconds where he could have haunted in. And so he's dead. He's dead. Matter Illusion still didn't work. Okay, so he buys back. 1 second. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Wait, what the hell? What's wrong with my counting? Okay. Okay, 58. Until he hits the first hero. So it takes him 11 seconds to get his first hit on Legion. And for some reason not on TA. I think TA is the bigger kill. You should always go for the bigger kills. So it took him 11 seconds, whereas with Haunt it's pretty much instant. And it just causes more confusion that way. So even though like it was pretty good, I think if that was a bit different, if he did that a bit different, first of all, he tanks for his team faster because he would just TP in and go. I mean, no, that's not true because he haunted it. But if he planned it, he could have tanked for his team better, and then he would have gotten in the fight a lot faster. And like that team fight graph thing, whatever you call it, was even, but it shouldn't have been. That should have been a game-winning fight for them there, even though TA had Aegis, because even though it wasn't executed properly, they still it still worked pretty well. Anyways, TA's dead for 120 seconds. You still have a chance of getting Devon Necrolite. Too bad he doesn't have good items. TA's actually going to buy back here, I believe, and getting this like F-Blade Dag is fucking ass. So imagine if TA couldn't TPA back in here. They would have owned them, blah blah blah. He outs the dude Legion. Oh, imagine if he couldn't buy back here. If TA wasn't, if he had a different item build, they would have won the game straight up. Anyways, this game's almost over just because, like, I don't know. They bought on Necrolite, they bought on Spectre, now they're gonna have no buybacks. Again, this skating, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I understand you still want to get tanky. Like on paper, it looks really good. It gives you some armor against the TA and the what's this minus armor? One is AC, right? Oh, TA has Deso AC. Okay, so she has minus like 20 armor, which is your entire armor pool. And skating gives you, but it really only gives you 3 armor. It gives you some health, sure. It gives you some nice DPS, but like refresher, like it gives you mana regen to farm. Which refresher stats are underrated. First of all, it gives you mana regen to farm, stuff like that. And then like I think like either Heart or like Diffusal after that would be really good. Like Diffusal's pretty cool that you can purge off some stuff this game. Like you can purge off the TA traps, those stuff like that. And you just have to play really defensively. Like you can't go too ham. If you have 2 daggers, it's actually really easy. Like 2 dagger and 2 manta, it's really easy to play defensively. And you do a lot of damage just from your ulti anyways. And then like your late game's going to be better too because you have, I think, better item progression in my opinion. Your farm's faster, of course, with that mana regen. I keep talking about that, but mana regen is nice on Spectre. Anyways, So this game is over. They cannot win at this point, I think. They don't have buybacks, so their heroes, Necrolite's dead. You go for one last fight anyways. If you're gonna go for one last fight, you don't have buyback, you might as well buy something. I would have probably recommend like either a plate mail or Ghost Scepter, just cause like why not? Anyways, you go in a fight like this, you probably just use Haunt at the start. They're not gonna be spread out anyways. You might as well just do your damage at the start, prevent the blinks from Legion. He is dead. Game is over. GG. So, how long has this been? This has only been 24 minutes. Good. I want to keep it under half an hour. What we can learn from this game is, I'm going to review this. So over here, most important thing is, when you're in a dual lane that you cannot zone the offlane in, you need to push out the lane, and you need to be able to pull this. If you push the lane out, you're going to be able to connect the pull, or you're going to be able to finish the stack, or whatever. If you do a Spectre then, and you, like, the lane pushes it, and then your Spirit Breaker pulls, we were able to see that Legion was able to contest the pull, the lane got up here. Also, you have to be aware that if your hero cannot connect the pull, it's a pub, you should almost never have faith. Like you should try to trust them, but like you know, what do they say? Trust but verify. You know, like sort of a version of that, right? Like, you know, you should trust that he might be doing that. But if you're only gonna lose like 60 HP tanking creeps because you have a stealth shield, you might as well just dance it around. Of course, there are situations where you shouldn't do that. Don't do it always. Like if they're hitting you and they're like destroying you and wrecking your face, don't do that. But you need to tank it so you keep the creep wave here. We saw the Spearbreaker still get the kill on the Legion, but he got 3 batches. That shouldn't have happened. This team fight here, he should have TP'd in and then ulted after. I didn't talk about how the Dire should have snowballed, but basically they shouldn't have gone cocky. They engaged, they got 5-man wiped here. So ridiculous. They just took it slowly. You have Tia get Aegis, Siege Towers, you have a healing ward behind her, you have a Blinking Legion with a save for her. They don't have any real catch for her. It's really hard for them to kill. You needed to have your Jakiro have more farm. Once you get Geosceptor or Blink Dagger, it's really hard for this enemy team to play, just because the pick-off potential is too high. I don't think Juggernaut's side, I don't know. Like I guess it's fine, whatever. I don't really care enough. And Items Spectre, if you're gonna start in lane, you don't plan on getting bottle on your solo laner, and you're in a hard lane, you should probably just get those 3 sets of regen. Sort of sucks to get, but you have to play it by who you're against and who your supports are. You have a techie Spearbreaker support, probably not the best. Spearbreaker probably should have taken Bash. If you could have just hit him in the lane, you don't have to expect to completely zone him from EXP, but you do want to be able to stop him from farming. If you just a Bash, you can man fight him. Another thing that man fighting does is it will push the lane because your aggro creeps. You just keep man fighting and dragging around. You have like 7 armor and 800 HP on Spearbreaker. Okay, he has like 5 armor, still 800 HP. Spearbreaker hit an Orb of Venom. Probably could have zoned him out from getting CS. They would have denied him EXP, and then at like 115 he could have done the double pull because the lane would have been up here. So that's how you should have played the lane. We also went over how Spectre, when she went top, she missed 2 minutes of farm, so you better do some work. They got 3 kills, it's really good, and then they suicided the Necro, so it made it a lot worse because TA got snowballing off that kill. Spectre lost a lot of farm. Legion got a Midas off it. It wasn't that good, even though they got 3 kills, just because no one was in bottom lane. And that's this replay analysis. Thank you for watching replay analysis number 8. And yeah, I hope you guys learned something. Please subscribe to my channel, like it, blah blah blah. Follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Nah. I hope this VOD saves. I'm gonna wait like 30 seconds so that I hope the VOD saves. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna be streaming some pubs after this on my Twitch, AUI_2000. But I'm gonna restart my stream right now. Okay, I'm gonna cut this off from my stream, so I'm just gonna talk. Blah 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 blah. Cut off the last 10 seconds.